And we have come to our last session, which is technocratic, but for you, it has quite a lot of information. Thank you for staying so late with a lot of patience. You enjoy these wonderful contributions, and I'm sure you will enjoy a wonderful panel. Mr. Andreas Dimitriadis, who's Senior Director of Investment Centers for Northern Greece from Piraeus Bank, Mr. Apostolos Bouzanis, CPA from Grant Thornton, Ms. Ria Voyadziksena, co-founder and CEO for Elastic, and last but not least, Mr. Yannis Markenos, who's Deputy Mayor for Tourism from the island of Thassos. I will start with you, and we should move rather quickly because we're nearing midnight. You have the floor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amphipolis Forum and the Cortidas Group for giving us the opportunity to present the activities of Enterprise Greece and your region in Central Macedonia and Eastern Macedonia and Thrace. We don't often have this opportunity. Enterprise Greece is supervised by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it promotes exports of Greek products abroad, and it attracts investment from abroad, and it tries to mature investments from Greek businessmen within the country domestically. I will say a few things about what we do in relation to exports and what we try to do in order to help exporters. The first thing we do is we prepare bulk spaces in major fairs abroad for specific important sectors that deal with entrepreneurship and comparative advantages of the country, like construction material, food and beverages. And we have many fairs around the world. These are very important fairs. Let's get the example for food and beverages. We go to INSEAD, we go to, in France, we go to the Gulf, and we try to follow all major fairs. We also have extra services. We support smaller exporters and those who make their first steps in exports, about how they can enter a market, what are the supply channels. From our experience in the past years, from participating in forums, in fora, and fairs and exhibitions and the various events we participate in around the world. Other than that, you can find Export Help Desk on our website. It's a gate which can lead you to a number of things. We have bought international databases that are quite expensive, and they're very difficult to have access. If you're a small businessman or a medium businessman, you can find information about the market, trends of the market, customer databases, which combined with our services for specific countries, because sometimes we target countries that are outside the map that would be in the mind of a businessman initially. Now, going very fast to the investment sector, what we do is we try to support green investment that is going to create an industry, an energy infrastructure, tourism accommodation in the country. How do we do that? We help a project mature, especially in the permits processing. We try to do matchmaking. We go abroad in international fora. We create B2Bs initiatives, business to business discussions. so that we know people who have, or bring together people who have a common objective, or bring them into contact with funds and foreign banks, etc. We also prepare business missions undertaken by the Prime Minister, the President of the Hellenic Republic, or ministers. As far as strategic investment is concerned, this is an institutional framework which aims at supporting major investment of over 20 million euros, investment which are going to have an important impact on the Greek economy or our local economy. This impact can be, apart from qualitative indicators, bring turnover, taxes, jobs, or it can be transfer of know-how, innovation, R&D. And we have two packages of benefits under Law 4864 of 2021. The first has to do with urban regulations through a spatial instrument or ad hoc, change land use, change the urban planning indicators, distances from other areas, and we have an acceleration of the permitting process. We have a general secretariat which focuses on issuing permits and solve problems that such projects may face. And it's very important to say, through this spatial planning instrument, we give the opportunity to create specific urban planning, create two things, either industrial or other receptors, or create a plan for tourism accommodation, large complexes of 1,000 strema, and create 100, 200, 400, 800 units. Also incentives. This is a special instrument. It's open throughout the year. It doesn't fall under the restrictions of the development law for a particular threshold for particular funds that an investment project can receive. We have a special map where we cover a specific percentage of a project based on certain indicators. Tax incentives we have for all types of investment. We have incentives that are related to R&D and their cash grants. We have incentives that are related to employee cost up to 5 million. We have a specific budget for that. And we also have a special category, emblematic investment, which have specific characteristics which are related to innovation, R&D, circular economy, green investment, like hydrogen, floating photovoltaics, or offshore wind parks, etc. To companies and projects that are included in this category. If we look at the figures, the region of Central Macedonia does have some strategic investment, some in the sector of energy and tourism. And now, of course, we're talking about those undertaken in the past 10 years. But when we go to the region of Eastern Macedonian Thrace, things are very, very limited. We don't have anything in tourism. We do have something in industry and energy. We hope that the Great Resort project will be one of those that we will support. Will it? We hope. We hope. So, like the previous speaker said, we have a great opportunity. The natural landscapes are wonderful. We have endless beaches. We have a cultural and historic background which can be promoted. And as again previous speaker said, you have the opportunity to make your next steps inclusive, make them include sustainability, balanced development, development that will be disseminated across all the entire of society. And we hope that you can move forward with this model, and we hope to have a couple of emblematic pilot investment which are going to support the region and give it a boost for the future. Could we move forward, please? I'm not sure we're going to have time for a second round of interventions. Last thing about strategic investment, I'm mainly talking about the local authorities in the region. What we're doing is try to work as developments for a port, for a building that are in the private ownership of municipalities. So we go to municipalities, we consider a project and investment that may have added value, especially in the field of the tourism sector in destinations that are not very well known. So we try to support landmark investment projects. Here we have a marina that we are going to develop in Vlchol, in Lefkada. We have 2 or 3 similar projects, and it would be a great pleasure to have discussions with the municipalities of the 2 regions if there are any active projects that we could move forward. The final benefit will be to the municipality. We have an international call for proposals, and it's the municipality that will get the final lease fees. Now about urban planning. Here you can see the 2 regions. In green and white, we have non-developed areas. In dark blue and light blue, developed and further developing regions. In red, a very small part in Pieria, developed again. So what do we see? That there is a lot of room for the development of a wonderful tourism product in the beautiful area. Thank you very much. Now we go to the Piraeus Bank.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ellis. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for doing me the honor to invite me to this forum. I would like to thank all of you, of course, to be patient enough to be sitting here on a Friday night at 11:30 and listen to a banking executive speak, and also say that this forum is an extreme initiative, an extremely important initiative for a group such as yours, Nico and Konstantina. Well done. I am a senior director of the business centers for Northern Greece of the Bank of Piraeus. We have 4 units serving this area, one of which is located in Kavala, which is responsible for entrepreneurship in Northern Greece. I'd like to say that this was a strategic decision made by the bank, and it is the only bank that has done this, that is, to maintain a business unit in northeastern Greece, and therefore I will invite you to embrace this initiative of the bank and support the unit. Our unit serves the daily needs and investment requirements of 2,500 businesses covering all sectors. A lot has been said about which the key sectors are in this region. Well, whether we like it or not, agri-nutrition, I would say, is number 1, and all these businesses that focus on the processing of agricultural and animal breeding products. And then comes tourism and all other sectors, which means that there is a lot of room for growth. As a bank, we aim in the next few years to continue with an increase in financing. In 2023, in northern Greece, we disbursed 800 million new funding, and based on the figures of the first semester of 2024, we are now moving forward at a much more rapid pace. Then a personal bet that I have for my unit is that in 2 years from now, we will exceed 1 billion in new disbursements each year for the businesses of northern Greece. How do we want to do this? We want to do it by aiming at sustainable investment opportunities available to all based on ESG terms. Of course, you've heard the term ESG in recent years, and you will hear it more often said in the future. This is an absolute necessity, and I think we need to speak about this need, that is to guide entrepreneurship on the road of sustainability, reduction of the environmental footprint, in order for us to be proud in a few years' time to have achieved the goals of our country with regard to its environmental footprint. How can we do this, however? In recent years, you all know, and most of you are business people, we see that the business community is used to subsidized funding, guaranteed funding, and we have abandoned the old banking practices of the past. Such programs still exist and will continue to exist to the future. For example, today we have the Entrepreneurship Fund, which is governed by EAT, and it is currently running the Invest EU with the European Investment Fund, and also the Recovery Fund, which is moving forward at a slower pace. And I urge you to take advantage of this colossal financing program. Just think that we are speaking about a program with 18 plus 18 billion euros in capital. If you take into account that our GDP is 220, and this is a colossal program which we believe will not be repeated in the future. So the funding is available. What's missing? What's missing are sustainable investment plans. I believe that all banks nowadays are expecting business people to bring such sustainable investment plans to their banks. The funding, the willingness to support these plans exist. So do hasten to do so, because the program will conclude in 2 years' time from today. And we don't know if it will be extended. We hope it will be, but we don't know so. So the banks have the liquidity. Yes, they do. The Bank of Piraeus, for example, right now, for a portfolio of 35 billion in loans, has a deposit basis of 60 billion. The upgrading of all banks, including Piraeus, in the investment level shows that they have the capacity. Yes, but a lot of business people don't dare to come or don't choose to come to the banks. They need to look at banks as consultants nowadays. They need to sit down with us so that we can explain to them what the banks of the new era have to offer. Some people still think that the banks are the something to be frightened of. No, that's not the truth. Come and talk to us about your investment plans and adjust them to current needs, to the requirements of our auditors, the European Central Bank, and all those involved in the stability of the system in Europe, so that we can put forward sound investment plans, and you can be sure that you'll find the support you need. What do you have to say about this, Mr. Bouzanis? Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the invitation to participate. Just a couple of words about Grant Thornton. It is a company that offers taxation, auditing, and consultancy services, and in recent years, supporting our clients. The company has developed, it has doubled its personnel. 380 people are now working in the company all over Greece, with offices in Thessaloniki, Crete, Athens, Ioannina, and Rhodes, which means that we are also supporting the companies of northern Greece through Thessaloniki and of Epirus through Ioannina. Now, some key points with regard to what was said by our interlocutors earlier about tourism. According to the United Nations, Greece is the 9th global destination with regard to international arrivals, amounting to about 39 million visitors per annum. And it is 21st with regard to the growth rate of tourism. However, what do we see happen at the same time? That this distribution is mainly addressed to southern Aegean, Crete, Attica, and Peloponnese, and then to areas such as the region of Central Macedonia and Eastern Macedonia and Thrace. Central Macedonia including mainly Chalkidiki. So we see that there's a great opportunity. If we look at 2023 at the arrivals by road, we see that we have 10 million, mainly going to Central and Eastern Macedonia, Thrace, Kavala, and Thassos in the case of this region. What else do we see happen in tourism? What is a trend in tourism then? How are things changing? We're talking about the high end, but I don't know if this is also reflected in the needs of ordinary citizens and Greeks, because we don't know if things have got out of hand to some extent. Yes, you're right to say so. We see a trend towards luxury tourism, actually. If we look at the plans for new tourism complexes in Greece are more than 100 million, mainly in Aegean, Crete, and the Peloponnese again. However, I'd like to point out that these investments may provide a higher added value to the regions where they are implemented, better jobs through certain tools mentioned previously by our interlocutors, and also strengthening of the local community. For example, in Eastern Macedonia, Thrace, we are lacking such investments like the one of Alexandrou Chora project that was mentioned earlier. And that is the overall trend. Thank you.
Now to the lady of our panelists, Ms. Ria Voyadzixenu. You have one company that has been awarded for what you were doing. A few things about Elastic. Thank you, Mr. Kourtidis, or rather Nikos and Konstantina and the whole group, because the group that have been working in this project, Tonya, that got the inspiration for the name, we are visionaries, and I'm very honored to be participants in this project. Let me say a few things about the company. Our offices are in Greece and Athens. I and my husband started it, but we have set up offices in Toronto, in Dubai, in London, and we create high-end resorts, high luxury accommodation from international brands, one and only, Louis Vuitton, all these brands that you may have heard of. It's about 80% of our turnover. Around projects around the world, we may have been invited to design. Thank you very much. I have a map here. We have been invited to create an Amman in Mexico, which is over 1 billion. And we are architects from Greece, and we're going to Mexico to design something that is of real high value, really high value. So why would someone call an architect from Greece to design in the Caribbean, in America, and Saudi Arabia? The answer is one. We design and we do architecture that is experiential. We design for the person for the user, for the land. There is sensitivity, no egoism. No selfishness. We don't design for ourselves. When we design a project, we spend a lot of time in the area. We try to think of the land, the wind, the trees, nature. We trace history, culture, myths, anything that this area can give us. Up to the present, this happened in countries abroad. When the Kurtidis group came and asked us to cooperate for Alexandrou Chora, it was a great honor, and we were very moved because we would finally do something for our own country. This was really very emotional for us because there was great wealth in the history of this area, a lot of things that it has to give, and the love that the whole group has shown for this project. Within this framework, within this context, the fact that we have to work in relation to the area, the architecture that we use has to respect the architecture of the area. In particular, Greek architecture has a Greek character, have low density. In other words, if you go there, you should feel that there is a balance between the structured, the built landscape and the natural landscape. So we went to the property, we acknowledged all its beauties and all its elements. So we created something that is really nice, very beautiful, and I'm sure that in the very near future we're going to have something very beautiful to show, and it will receive awards, not just in Greece but internationally. With this very optimistic and hopeful, and I hope realistic message, we now go to the deputy mayor so that we get the views of the local authorities.
Yes, I am particularly pleased to be here today since Nikos and Dina have emphatically proven that this whole area can comprise a unified tourism and investment destination. And this is something that a lot of us believed in, and all our efforts have focused and continue to focus precisely on this objective. So we believe that this is an excellent opportunity to continue with this collaboration even more in an even more focused manner. Starting from 2010, we shall see that this whole region, including the island of Thasos, the number of beds compared to this day have remained the same in number. So, of course, Airbnb used to be 0 in 2010, and now there are more than 15,000 on beds of non-key accommodation have increased more than 50%. So this is a clear message for us, and it is obvious that the region needs some emblematic investments, and it is clear also that it is ready to accept them, to welcome them and support them, and to become extremely attractive for investments as results. This is one of our goals, therefore, and we believe that very soon we need to see this put into practice. Of course, such investments not only have to do with the private sector, the public sector at the same time should also move in the same direction, since we estimate that more than 50% of what an investor is looking for and what the healthy investment climate requires in order to be successful has to do with the public sector. So it is for us a challenge and a goal to achieve this harmony in investments between the public and private sector. What is a very positive note that we need to keep in mind is that we have all perceived that this is a virgin region, that there is a lot of room for investment, both in the sector of tourism and in other fields that tourism provides high added value to. So I think we managed our goal, although it's got a bit late, but I don't know if any one of you would like to add something at the last minute. You have answered my question, more or less. So one last comment, if any of you would like, just for 1 minute. Let's just add something about interest rates. We know that we are in a downward trend, which means that investments will be less costly in the next few years with regard to level of financing. Inflation is also starting to drop. Our growth rate is much higher than the EU average, so I think it's time to think of investments finally. Mrs. Vagazeyo, did you want to add something? Yes, I had a presentation that I hadn't shown just for lack of time. I don't know if we can do so now, just that I could add a couple of words. Yes, I just wanted to say that in relation to strategic investments abroad, the idea of a strategic investment, mixed use that is to have a hotel, a result that is combined with homes that are sold, which is something that we're talking about in this case as well, yes, but also generally speaking, this idea abroad has been in place for the last 15 or 20 years, and therefore it has reached a point where it is now done in a milder way. And the level of building, the respect for the landscape and the sustainability, some are all taken into account. And gradually, I believe that in Greece, we need to do the same so that we don't harm our own country. And with this opportunity, let me show you some of our projects since we're nearing the end of the evening. This is Amman in Mexico. With a hotel, home, spa, inspired by nature and related to beautiful views, open to the sea, concrete construction, which is currently being completed and will be in operation 2024, the key building. And here, a project that we have done with Amman Results. When I created the new brand, we created Janu, once again inspired by the myths of Montenegro. This has also gone forward and has become a beautiful hotel. And based on this initial project, Janu in Tokyo is also opening in New York. I think we have paved the way for this brand. This is a project in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, a spa, banyan tree, a beautiful project in Greece, in Barco, which is fully integrated with the landscape and has all the Greek elements with the use of local stone. Just a quick taste of how architecture can bring an area to the level of quality it deserves. The most beautiful aesthetic end to this session. And in conclusion, I don't know whether you want to add something. This is the first time I've visited the region for one day, a virgin area, which has a lot for future investors. I see a lot of natural wealth, primary production, tourism prospects. So I think that it's up to you and to every other stakeholder, the regional authorities, the municipalities, the state, and everyone for these things to happen. Thank you very much. I wish you the best of success. Time for a family photo? Yes. Last photo, last images, last moments of the first Amphipolis Forum. Thank you all. The financial director of Courtides Group, Mrs. Despina Geroftalmou, will be awarding the gifts to the speakers. Thank you very much. Although a technocratic topic, I think your presentations were exceptionally interesting, and thank you for the final images, Ria.
Ωραία. Και μια αναμνηστική φωτογραφία. Ναι, ναι.
Family photo now.
Ο Όμιλος Κουρτίδη, ο Δήμος...
Courtides Group and the municipality of Amphipolis are very happy today. We had a wonderful evening, and closing this evening, I would like to thank you. We gave gifts to all participants, but we forgot to give a gift to someone who has stolen our hearts and has been doing that for many years, Mr. Mayor of Amphipoli, the president of Courtides Group, and vice president. This souvenir, this gift from this evening. Let me tell you this. In the next forum, I don't know if I'll be here, but that's of no importance. People are going to leave other engagements and come here. They will say, I can't go, I can't come to your meeting because I will be in the Amphipolis Forum. And a family photo, dear Carl.
Είμαι ιδιαίτερα συγκινημένος.
I really feel very moved. Our souls are full, our eyes are full. I would like to thank, really from the depths of my heart, all the people who worked here, all of you who stayed so late, all our visitors, all our guests, and I promise that next year is going to be even better. I would also like to thank all the people who have been working so hard under very dire conditions in such high temperatures, and we managed to organize this in just 1 month. thank you all for being here with us, who believed in what we organized. I would like to say that apart from all the politicians and businessmen who were here, we also had businessmen from abroad, not just the countries, from the countries that we mentioned, but from other countries as well, like Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, and we'll wait to see the impact of this event. Thank you very much.